Hey everybody, welcome back to Coaster Labs. Today we actually have some interesting news out of California's Great America. Back on Saturday, this past Saturday, which is I already forgot, the 15th, I went back to California's Great America for the first time in a long time to check in on some of the happenings that were going around the park. In addition, they were also starting out the Rebranding Festival, which is kind of their patriotic America themed festival of like different foods and beers and craft wines and things like that. But anyhow, there was also some news that some parts for a possible 2020 edition were appearing. Now, if you have been following the progress of California's Great America for the past couple of years, you'll know that they have, I think it's a 10-year or 5-year plan or something like that, which started out with the conversion of Vortex, their stand-up B&M, to Patriot, their floorless B&M, and then after that, it was followed by, of course, the notorious Railblazer, the RMC Raptor, which was a mirror clone of Wonder Woman Golden Lasso Coaster at Six Flags Fiesta Texas, and it's a really great ride. It's a short ride, obviously. It's a small ride. It's supposed to be, but it's a fantastic ride nonetheless. Now, after that, the whole idea was that there was going to be continuous editions to kind of make it as to what Carowinds kind of has or was getting or is still getting to this day, how they had their big plan where they had, Fear 325 and a couple other editions in between that. Now they have Copperhead Strike and things like that. So now that has sort of been put on hold. Yes and no. They're going to be focusing more on probably smaller editions, I'm guessing, given that some of the progress that was supposed to be for those larger editions that I can't really talk about has kind of ceased operation for the time being, so they can kind of get an idea of the market before they proceed in getting these large editions. If you might be aware too, Kings Island is also getting a Giga Coaster, so it's also going to be a smaller Giga Coaster because it was probably also factoring in the budget of the rumored CGA Hyper that was supposed to be this coming year, but I think they're slowly moving things around so they can kind of have a good grace period between larger editions that they might count Railblazer as versus Patriot, which is not really a new edition in any way, just a repaint of some new trains. Now, getting on to that newer edition, we are looking at a potential edition or multiple editions and possible retheme of Boomerang Bay. This is their conjoined water park that is paired with the park. You don't have to pay separate admission for it, as opposed to things like, say, Waterworld, or now that Cedar Fair has bought the Schlitterbahn parks, or two of the Schlitterbahn parks this past couple weeks. This is paired with the park, so you can just walk right in when it's open, which is only during the summer months and for limited hours. Usually closes approximately 3 or 4 hours before the park closes itself. Usually closes around 6 before sun goes down. They're usually not open in the night, probably for safety reasons and for the lifeguards to be able to see when people get to the bottom of the slides, things like that, and logistics too, so they can clean up after. And there were a lot of photos and reports coming out from people who also work in the park, but people who also were just very observant of new slides coming to that area. Now, for a while back, in my last video where I was talking about, or my last vlog at California's Great America, I was talking about some of the areas that were being prepped for potential new additions, either for the dry park or for the water park. And one of those areas that was being prepped was to the left of the entrance for Boomerang Bay, and this is kind of a smaller plot compared to the larger plot where Loggers Run, the area of logging that they removed a year or two ago, and the HMB Endeavor, which also left for quote-unquote mechanical reasons, but it was because they wanted that room, and so they took it out. And so now both areas are actually being prepped for additions. The left-hand smaller plot is actually more long than the other one, but the one thing that has actually pretty much set everything in stone and gotten the ball rolling for a lot of those ideas and additions is the arrival of slides, the delivery of pieces of some of the slides that they are going to be getting. Now, some of these slides may look very familiar to you. Hopefully there's an image on your screen right now, because they're actually pretty much the exact same slides from Knott's Berry Farm, from 𝗦𝗢𝗖𝗜𝗓, and I believe from Cedar Point. At Knott's Berry Farm, it's under the name, I think, Shore Break. There are a four-pack of drop capsule slides where you stand a little bit of an angle, and then the floor drops out and you go through the slide course, a couple twists and turns, and then you go into the splashdown section. Now, these slides are actually going to be slightly bit cheaper because they are actually not made by Pro Slides, which is usually what some of the Six Flags parks would go for. Those are usually going to be your more expensive, slightly more expensive slides, being that some parks tend to when you get a couple, because they are kind of, a little bit pricey, they are actually going with ones, I think they are cheaper, by Whitewater West. These are able to be identified as Whitewater West slides because of their longer and more translucent slide parts and slide pieces. Pro Slides usually doesn't do smaller sections when they're delivering their slides, and when they're constructing them, they usually have smaller pieces. They don't have these long stretches that are clear and things like that. They usually are solid colors because they're fiberglass and things like that. So these are translucent. These are pretty much the same colors as some of the other slides that are in the chain, and actually it's going to be assembled by CSM Waterworks from Los Angeles, California. You can look at their LinkedIn page and things like that. They have pictures of all of those slides that you can see at different various Cedar Fair parks that have these installations, and they're, again, long stretches of slide sections. And so I think it's pretty safe to say that this is going to be their 2020 edition. I do appreciate it because I actually do have a liking for the drop capsule slides. Actually, I've never actually tried one, but I imagine I will like them just because of the suspense that you get from standing there and not knowing when the floor is going to drop out. So these are actually visible. The couple stacks of them have already arrived, and they're visible from the Skyway system that they have, a Delta Flight or Eagles Flight system that they have going over from the back of the park to the front of the park, and vice versa. So if you can, actually I'm looking at some of the photos right now, and they do actually have an alternation of colors between solid or opaque and translucent sections. So I guess that's like to play two different sections. I'm not sure what they're trying to do there. But anyway, there actually are slightly different colors. So they're probably going to, actually I take that back, be the exact same colors. And the exact same slides potentially, minus some of the tube slides that are usually conjoined with those other installations at Cedar Fair parks like Knott's Berry Farm. Now, also, the other thing that I wanted to mention is that some people have also been speculating, and the rumor mill is really spinning now, that Boomerang Bay will be receiving a retheme of the name of the theme of, currently it's like an Australian koala, wallaby, everything theme to it, and that is ideally going to be going away. So now Mike from Inside CGA has been able to zoom in with one of his lens and see that the potential name change from Boomerang Bay to Coastal Bay. So actually I do like that a lot, and I think the name really fits the kind of California's like a beach kind of thing that they probably are going to go for with this name. They've also got another couple of names for different food locations, probably, and gift shop locations they're going to be changing the name of to fit that new theme and name. So that's definitely what's going on. I'm going to go ahead and cut to the clips of the video that I took on Saturday so you can see exactly what I'm talking about, and some other looks at the smaller locations around the park. Also remember, if you go there, please don't take photos over fences and stuff. You should stay within the boundaries of the park, as I did here, and I'm only taking photos and videos from places that are accessible to guests. So please don't go into off limits areas in the park. Here's a closer look over here by Mass Effect, the area that they're working on. Definitely some body slides of some kind. Presumably that's some kind of spill out. I'm not entirely sure how these are made, so I'm sure I'm wrong about all this, but Definitely for slides. Definitely for slides. Interesting. So presumably they'll connect right here, and this area will just be opened up so they can come in. So maybe this will be the new entrance, so they make it full circle. I don't know. We'll have to see. Let's go see if we can find any other vantage points. Okay, we are on Eagle's Flight. Unless I'm saying it wrong. Yeah, Eagle's Flight. Okay. Flying Eagles is the flying scooters. So we are now going to be passing over the former location of Loggers Run. That was the Aero Log Flume, and a couple of other attractions that they ripped out for a new edition at the time. And if that new edition is still coming, that's yet to be seen. And they still have some jackhammers and other equipment. They moved what's coming is amazing fence elsewhere. But now, apparently, allegedly, there are, oh no, I can see them. Is a Pine Bay expansion. As you can see, we've got some slide parks. So let's see what we can guess might be coming in the future. We got stuff for footers. We got a lot of wood over there. Looks like some semi-new concrete. But yeah, there we are. Okay, yeah. So I can't really tell where they are, but they definitely do look like different colored body slides. Perhaps they're the ones, the drop capsule slides, I believe, where they're like in a, like, they kind of duel each other. I guess you could say it's dueling. But yeah, then they race each other down. Got some covers for some pylons first. Got more over here. So yeah, it definitely looks like those, I don't know if those are going there or over here, because we also have another plot right there. Definitely looks like some kind of water outlet. Maybe they're going to be moving the water structure over here. I don't know, that's yet to be seen. But also the other rumor is that they're going to be retheming it from Boomerang Bay to something else. Like, I honestly don't know what they can retheme it to, but yeah, but it's not going to be Boomerang Bay anymore. That's the idea, that's the rumor. So yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe down below before you guys leave. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at 𝗠𝗘𝗗𝗜𝗓. We've got a lot of photos, and that's mostly where we update as soon as we get that kind of information or get those kind of views and photos. We just send them instantly here. It's a little bit more delayed, so definitely go find us there at 𝗠𝗘𝗗𝗜𝗓. Thank you for watching and subscribing. Welcome to 𝗠𝗘𝗗𝗜𝗓, and we'll see you in the next.